This time, we are remodeling a tiled bathroom into a unit bath.
なんでこんなに濡れるかなと思って。
As usual, various issues have arisen.
こんなミス初めてやね。
Your home's bathroom might also be in a similar situation as shown in this video. Sometime in September, bathroom demolition begins. The homeowner has previously hired us for interior remodeling and building a detached house. This time, we'll be remodeling their bathroom. We're approaching this with full effort and commitment. We will install an interior window in the washroom and replace the bathroom window with a high insulation one using a cover construction method. Demolition work needs to be done methodically. We carefully calculate to ensure that the new unit bath can fit perfectly. Tiled bathrooms can sometimes be easy to demolish, but can also be incredibly challenging. The pillar next to the door is decayed.
ダメだよ。そこの土台の下が多分腐っとるで、こっちはね、こんくらいまで腐ってるわ。こんくらいまで。右端もね。
When demolishing tiled bathrooms, we often encounter situations like this. Initially, we planned to install a 1.2 meters by 1.6 meters bathroom. However, with a bit more demolition, we realized we could install a larger one. But to do that, some tiles need to be removed. For a standard-sized bathroom, we could install it without removing the tiles. For a larger size, we carefully cut and remove the tiles and mortar layer. We consider the remaining work time to decide how much to demolish. Tile removal took longer than expected, causing significant delays in the schedule. But it looks like the foundation has absorbed a lot of moisture. For now, we set aside the issue of decay and focus on demolition.
Ah, これ。きついやな、これ。最悪だ。 見たくん。目の音だけやな。これはすごい。
Pillars and other timber components, like beams, have decayed so much they crumble like dirt.
直し出したらこっちの部屋全部直さなあかんで。こっち。
The foundation is rotting, causing the pillars to be in a floating state. The pillars are floating, but they are not falling because they are supported by blocks. This beam was connected to the rotten pillar, yet it's not falling either, probably because the mortar floor underneath is firm. Still, I can't guarantee the floor won't break under these conditions. Although the pillars seem stable for now, it's impossible to say that they are completely safe. The schedule for assembling the unit bath cannot be postponed. What should we do? We proceed to demolish the door opening to fit the size of the new unit bath door. Since we're not remodeling the washroom this time, we need to limit the demolition to the bare minimum. This bare minimum demolition is what makes the work more challenging. The walls and floors of the washroom are tiled as well, and if damaged, repairs will be labor-intensive. The bigger issue here isn't the rotten pillar, it's the beam that's not secured. It's going to fall. This beam is in terrible shape. We support the decayed beam, which no longer reaches the foundation, by installing metal posts. Additionally, we trim the base of the floating pillar and insert a new wooden base underneath it for support. Even though the post is in place, the space is so tight that securing it with screws is a real challenge. The screw hole isn't even close to the right place.
でこの柱に対して大引きがだけは決まっとったわけよ。だけど柱が腐ってるとか大引きも決まってないってことだから、これを持ってんのは 2だと大引きで引っ張ってるだけ。いずれは落ちるよね。283透かします。よいしょ。
まあまあやな。
うん。ラーメン？かけたらどうしよう。
We carefully straighten and clean the rotten base of the pillar as much as possible.
OK ね。ここか。これをここに合わせるか。この辺に。
To ensure the foundation pads sit properly, we level the top of the foundation. When it comes to renovations, tools make all the difference. The demolition of the bathroom is now complete. We asked the plumber to handle the water supply and drainage work for the bathroom. At the same time, we requested that they bring concrete for the foundation. Using a bucket relay, we poured the concrete for the bathroom floor. For a renovation like this, there's no room for mistakes since the client is still living here. All the contractors work together, ensuring the project progresses according to schedule, so the bathroom can be ready for use as soon as possible. This time, we decided not to use wire mesh reinforcement for the bathroom floor. While wire mesh is generally recommended, in this narrow space, shrinkage isn't an issue, so it's unnecessary. After all, the only load will come from the unit bath and the bathtub itself. If a 5 cm 2-inch tiled floor held up previously, a 10 cm 4-inch concrete pour will be more than sufficient. Although the demolition was a bit tricky, we successfully completed the plumbing work and floor pour as planned. The day after pouring the concrete, we worked on placing a new base under the decayed pillar. There are sections of the mortar that appear unnaturally damp. It almost looks like the area flooded under the floor. Once the unit bath is installed, there shouldn't be any further moisture issues, but the level of dampness here is concerning. I don't plan to expand the scope of the work, but the unit bath is scheduled to be installed the day after tomorrow. I don't intend to take on additional work, but as a carpenter, I can't leave without checking it properly. Even though it seems fine, it's important to verify the extent of the structural damage. The mortar on the foundation is too thin. We absolutely need to lower the waterproofing layer below the foundation top. It appears this isn't a localized water leak, but rather a case of consistent leakage along the floor and wall junctions.
生きてるね。音がね。濡れてるけど生きてる。これ乾いてくね。
Old tiled bathrooms like these, built with traditional methods, should all be replaced with modern unit baths.
これはセーフだ。
もう進行は止まるっていうこと。
乾いてく。乾いてくけど虫は入るから白いの消毒だけ。これ直すってなったらここに土台入れ替えるんだけど、直したところで金額と合ってないから直さない方がいい。
ほう。
見た目は気持ち悪いけども、これ以上悪くならないようにするっていうのは大事であって。
Deciding what to repair and what to leave untouched is one of the hardest parts of renovation. We also added mortar around the newly placed support stones.
この下にこれを入れます。
はい。
Ideally, I wouldn't want to seal this area
風を
completely.
通したいな。
It would be better to allow some
こっ
airflow.
ちがこんなんだからね。
ウェッティだからね。
これ三寸角、三五角じゃなくて三寸角ね。こうまあ基礎パッキンで今みたいにこう浮かして、ここから風結構入ってくるんだよね。ふわーっとね。本当はもっと通したいけどね。通気穴開けたいぐらい。ここ開けた方がいいけど、そんなことしたことないから。本当はね、むくりでやらなきゃ浮いちゃうんで、こいつが浮き上がる可能性があるんで、勝ち込むと。
なるほど。
だからそういう時は変えてね、その時木の使い方をね、変える必要があります。木が1ミリ吸い取るからつかないから。
埋める。
Renovation work often involves extensive use of urethane adhesive. It's not just for bonding, it's frequently used to adjust irregularities and ensure stability. These are packings, spacers, commonly used in door covering installations. These types of spacers are also frequently utilized in renovation work. In the past, adjustments were often made with plywood or wooden wedges. However, for load-bearing areas or spots prone to decay, plastic or resin-based materials offer greater durability and reliability. It's not exactly the most visually appealing work, often referred to as a patch job. With limited time, we do everything we can within the constraints. While spraying disinfectant over specific areas may feel like a superficial measure, it's better than doing nothing. Sometimes, not overthinking a situation helps maintain peace of mind. Attempting to repair every issue might unintentionally cause the client unnecessary concern. If the client doesn't fully understand the situation, it's often better not to over-explain. With the limited time available, we did our best to address the most critical issues. Finally, the day for installing the unit bath has arrived. However, this is when we discovered an unbelievable mistake. There's no window. Let me explain how this happened. What happened during the pre-construction meeting with the contractors? Boss, thank you as always for ordering sashes from us. This time, we'd like to handle the bath installation along with the window installation. Please let us do that. I'll be handling the bath installation. Nice to meet you. Don't worry, we'll coordinate everything smoothly between us. If I can place a single order for both the window replacement and the bath installation, that'll save me a lot of trouble. We can start the bath installation on September 6th. We'll install the window the day before, so leave that to us. Alright, I'll make sure the demolition and plumbing work are ready by then. Alright, thank you in advance. On the day of the unit bath assembly. Have the bath installers arrived yet? Let's go say hi. The bath window. It's not installed. Seriously? We made a huge mistake. This is really difficult to say, but we didn't order the window. What? Wait. How is that possible? I told you it was a combined order for the window and bath. Why only the bath? We're so sorry. You went out of your way to consolidate the orders with us. Seriously, what was the point of using the same company then? So, if you order the sash now, when will it arrive? The soonest we can get it is in 2 weeks. Maybe more. So, if the sash wasn't ordered, we wouldn't have demolished the bath this early. No, that wouldn't work. The new bath would have arrived anyway. That's why I consolidated the orders, to avoid this kind of mess. We're really sorry. Well, I guess we'll have to assemble the bath as planned. This is such a headache. We explained the situation to the client and decided to proceed with installing the unit bath without a window. Once the window arrives, the sash installer and bath installer will come back to cut open the panel and install the window. In the meantime, the client will have to use the bath without a window for a while. This was a devastating mistake on a project for a client who has always trusted us. We had to switch gears and focus on what we could do at that moment. Next, we worked on installing the frame for the bathroom door. This part of the job is surprisingly tricky.
今日はこのお風呂がついたんで、窓はついてませんけどね。20年やってきたけど、こんなミス初めてだね。で、今日はこれがあるもんで。
Without removing the hanging cabinet, the wall tiles, floor tiles, or existing wallpaper, we installed a four-sided resin
上
frame.
に樹脂枠でこう巻き込んで、それっぽくします。ちょっとあんまり好きなあれじゃないんだけど、収まりとしては。ここから11ミリ足す。
It's much easier to construct the walls from scratch when remodeling both the bathroom and the washroom at the same time. We took care not to damage the existing floor or walls and avoided any unnecessary demolition. When demolition must be minimal, having a multi-tool is incredibly helpful.
130。
We attached hinoki furring strips to serve as the base for the door frame. Using a hammer drill, we pre-drilled holes and screwed the strips into the wood backing behind the wall. The new bath is perfectly level, but the washroom walls are slightly tilted, so we adjusted the furring strips with spacers and packers to align them. Renovation is, in many ways, the art of addressing and compensating for a home's natural inclinations. On the opposite side, we faced a similar issue with the frame base. The existing column was tilted, so we had to cut the frame base at an angle to ensure it aligned vertically. At the top, the width was 43 millimeters. In the middle, it was 48 millimeters. And at the bottom, it was 36 millimeters. We carefully cut the prefabricated frame material to fit. Finally, we assembled the door frame and fitted it into place.
リフォームだと絶対合わないからね、切り直さなあかんね、これね。
斜めにせなあかん。
絶対合わない。
Next, we moved on to processing the decorative material around the frame. Although the pieces came pre-cut at an angle, we had to adjust and recut them for a proper fit.
これがさ、壁がちょっとでもこれで開いとったら絶対すいちゃうから。
The alignment was challenging, and we had to carefully deliberate. What's the best way to achieve the right fit? The frame material resembled casing used for doors but had grooves like baseboards, making the installation more complicated. Since the existing tiles were uneven, we decided to fill the gaps with caulking to smooth things out. Looking back, it might have been easier to use solid wood instead of prefabricated materials for this project. In the end, we managed to make it look seamless and free of any noticeable issues. Three weeks after installing the unit bath, we finally received and installed the bathroom window and the interior window for the washroom. After a long wait, the project was finally complete.